Hello everybody. In today's video, I want to talk about the profile 5.1 in human design and the projection field. I think this is something that I've been contemplating already for years, and I think I have much more clarity on the topic, and especially because I've been working with a 5.1 and I have a lot of 5.1s around me because I'm a 6.2, and 6.2s go very handy with 5.1s. I can explain that in another video if you're interested. But there's certain types that attract all the profiles, right? So 6.2s in my life personally, and my wife as well, we're 6.2s, and I've always attracted 1.3s, 4.6s, and 5.1s. That's kind of the main profiles that I attract, and also 2.4s. So those are the type of profiles that I think get very well with the 6.2. But anyways, that's for another video. If you're really interested on that, put it on the comments and I'll make a video. So let's talk about the 5.1 and why, and the concept of the projection field. I think 5.1s are not aware that very little people will know them to the core, who they are really. Why? Because they have this projection field. And when I say projection field, it's like you have to see on your head a little bit this imagination of projecting outwards a field or a facade, right? Like, I am this person, and this is the projection that 5.1s do. You know, they put this field outside of themselves. So what others see is not the person, it's the projection that the 5.1 has projected outside. That's the very most important thing to bear in mind for the video. So what happens is that people are attracted because they see the projection field, right? So they see this projection field that they are attracted to, and they go to the 5.1. And that's the profile of the 5.1. The 5.1 is here not to make friends, it's to make business, right? That's the 5.1, it's to solve problems. I attract people to my aura, and then I solve the problem, right? So that's why they have the first line, the investigator, because they really know about something specific, right? And then with the fifth line, which is this projection, they can solve the problem. So they know a lot about something, and then they solve the problem to the person. That's basically their life, and that's how they live their life. They attract people to solve their problems, and that's why it's called the heretic and the investigator. The heretic is this person that comes, give you a solution that you didn't expect in a situation where you will need it. That's why you're open to listen to it. But you're not open to listen to the fifth line if you're not in a save me situation. And that's why you won't go to a 5.1 to solve your problems if you're not in a needy situation. What do I mean by this? Let's put the example. For example, in my area, there's a TCM practitioner, which is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, and she's a 5.1. You know, and when do you go to the 5.1? When you have a health problem, right? For example, my wife has been having a lot of stomach issues, and we went to do some acupuncture and some cupping things, and she's better now. But you see, you just go when you need the 5.1. And this is something that we need to understand, not only 5.1s, but also not only 5.1s, but also other people when we interact with 5.1s. I think that's why we need to understand all human design types, all profiles, because all of us have a certain specific energetics of each one of the profiles, right? So when we are with a 5.1, you will understanding better if we know about the 5.1, even if I'm a 6.2, for example. So this is something important, that the 5.1s are here to solve problems, right? And this is what I wanted to go to, that this projection field has its benefits, which is I'm gonna project this facade so people see this, so I can solve these problems. I can give value to them, right? And this projection field also maintains something very important for the 5.1, which is the prestige, right? I'm the one that solves these problems, right? I am the one, and people know me because of this. Like, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm doing, and I have to maintain this prestige because you know, what about now people don't know what do I do. Like, it's very important, if I'm a business person, to maintain this facade. This is what I do, right? And this is also something to understand for the 5-1s, that this projection field is actually helping you, but also has its downsides, which is creating authentic relationships can be very hard for 5-1s, because people are attracted to you by this thing that you solve, this thing that you know, this thing you're very interesting, and they want to be your friends, but that's actually your projection field, that's not actually you. So on one side is helping you on the business side, but on the other side is not helping you on having authentic, genuine connections, not transactional ones. And that's why the 5-1 may have problems with friendships, because they mistake helping others with then getting into friendship. I think 5-1s have to be, like every one of us, very specific on the friendships that we have, very conscious, very, these are someone that understands me. And it's nice to have a friendship with a 5-1 outside of the business, right? If you meet someone outside of this projection field, then it's easier to connect. That also can be a partner. I'm not only talking about friendship. But the thing that I want to get with the projection field is that the projection field will fade away. And this is something that I've been contemplating, and that's what I wanted to make this video. Is that the 5th-1 is here to solve your problem on a specific time. It's not here to be with you all the time. Because this projection field will start to dissolve, and you as a person that were attracted to this projection field will slowly see through the projection field, and then you start meeting the real person behind the projection field, and then maybe you don't like it because it's not what you saw on the beginning. So 5-1s are really good at putting this projection field. This is something that as a 6-2 I'm very authentic. That's the second line. We're natural beings, right? And I'm not here putting any projection, because I'm Bruno and I'm 6'2", and that's who I am, and I teach, right? 5-1s are different. 5-1s are very good at putting this facade. That's why we come from a 5th line period, and now we're going into the 6th line period. Now it's all about authenticity. It's about 6th line. It's about also teaching transformation, not just the information of the 1st line. But anyways, that's another topic. So that's why the projection field, and this is the main point of the video, the projection field starts to fade. And that's when you start seeing behind the scenes, and then you start meeting the real person, and then you start seeing the mismatch between what they do, what they preach, and what they practice. And maybe that dissonates, and then you don't want to be anymore with the 5-1. This happened to me with a lot of practitioners when, for example, a practitioner is doing something and he doesn't do it himself. That for me is a lack of integrity. And that is something that 6 lines are very hard with. They have to be exemplary, right? That's a 6 line. And when they see that other people don't do what they preach, because the 6th line is, I practice what I preach. And so before I practice it and then I preach it. For the 5th line, it cannot be the case. They can know a lot about something and preach it, but not practice it like 100%. And if you know that, maybe that is out of integrity for someone, it's a little bit of dissonance, and then you go away. And that is something to understand for 5-1s, that you're here to really radically change someone, really transform someone on a really short period of time, or a couple of months, but that's it. After that, it will be very hard to keep your projection field, because as more that you spend time with someone, with a client, with a friend, with a connection, it's very hard to keep up the facade. Like, you will be in situations where you have to show yourself. And I think that's another lesson for 5-1s. Can I be authentic, even though I have this prestige? Can I be authentic of who I am and show myself authentically? Like, can I build my prestige on my authenticity? And that's when the 5th line can learn a lot about the 6th line. But eventually the projection field will fade away. So then it's when you need to change place, you need to change your client. And I think that's also an important part of the process of 5-1, which is changing places, changing relationships, changing clients, You know, not you'll see a lot of people coming in and coming out, and that's the heretic line that you have, and you have to live with that, right? That's one of the courses of human design, that you're this person, right? Don't try to be someone else. That's you. So you either embrace it or you fight against it, but that's who you are. And I think that's what makes human design beautiful, is to come on in terms with who you are and actually understanding yourself, the good things, the bad things. I don't think there's any bad thing with you, but anyways, you have these sides that you have to work with, and maybe you have challenges with any of the profiles, as you will be seeing on the series, has its challenges. So we better, we better understand our challenges and try to balance those challenges. As a 6-2, I have my challenges. Any profile has its challenges. Well, this is the video. If you had any single question about anything that I just said, please comment below and I'll make a video. I really like that you guys are in these videos as well with me, so you can give me your feedbacks. As a second line, I need feedbacks. So if you put it on the comments, I will make a video, and let's grow this channel slowly, organically, with your commentaries, with your feedback. And that's it. So see you on another videos of human design on real life.